On this episode of Doing the Most, we're moving. Do it one more time.
Homemade brews and various howtos, everything from mead to roast, bake creation, fermentation, inebriation, doing the most.
Welcome to the new Doing the Most household. We started the process of moving a couple of months ago and recently closed on a new house, new to us house, and this is it. We've been renting a wonderful little historic home in Oklahoma City for the last couple of years and decided it was time to become homeowners. So here we are. It's currently very empty. It was not empty a couple of days ago. We've had painters in painting the entire house. It's been kind of a project house. We've been living a kind of transient lifestyle, which, as you can imagine, for doing the mosters like us who are wanting to cook at home and tend to our fermentations and things like that, been kind of frustrating but exciting. And so we've eaten a lot of fast food in the last week and haven't really had a lot of time to work on video content because we're moving. So you may end up getting a little bit of Doing the Most studio construction content. So let's, in fact, go look at that. And here we are. This is the studio space. There it is. This is, oh, there's a cat outside. I don't know if you can, we've got a lot of cats in this neighborhood, and I think they're going to not enjoy Sam's friendship. So this is the studio room. This is where we are planning on recording Doing the Most content going forward. And obviously we're not in a kitchen, and I'll show you why. The cat's still in the yard. This is the kitchen, and it is a much different setup than our kitchen at the rent house, and it's not very accommodating for filming. So we're gonna be trying to change up the style of how we shoot going forward, and it affords us some new flexibility, also some new challenges, but we'll all get through it together. This kitchen is really beautiful, and it was not before the painters came, but we turned a sort of fugly wood 1990s aesthetic into what I think is a fairly beautiful and elegant transformation just by changing the color palette and removing some of the brown in here. And Anna gets all the props for choosing the paint colors in here. I just deferred to her judgment. She's got an eye for that sort of thing. So there are some challenges with this kitchen, but I think overall it's gonna be great, and we're hoping to actually replace the range in here with a gas range. It's looking like going forward that anything like a braggot or a beer is gonna have to be brewed on propane in the backyard. So again, more challenges, but I think given the benefits of this new space, it's a challenge that can be overcome. One of the more thrilling things about this home is that it's got a garage instead of a basement. So this is obviously going to change a lot about our ability to store things, but also it's going to remove some of the temperature control we had. So that's a concern, but I've got all of the fermentations moved over. A lot of that stuff you may have seen on our Instagram was kegged. And then I've got a couple of things over here. That's a cherry mead, and that is a peach mead that is getting pretty close to being available to check out on our channel. But yeah, everything we own basically is in the garage right now. So got some work to do yet. Just a side note, these lights, these 3 lights were all on different switches when we purchased this house. That was one of our first orders of business, was rewiring it so it all goes on one. Kind of an unusual thing about this house is it is kind of like 2.5 stories. There are stairs that lead up to the master, which is built over the garage. So it's a nice big master. And then we've got a master bath, and those stairs right there lead to a finished attic, which for the last week has been kind of a squatter's paradise. Had the Nintendo Switch and all of our other stuff hooked up there. And then finally, perhaps most exciting about this space is the enormous backyard. And this backyard was full of stuff when we purchased the house, including a shed that had layers of debris and trash dating back to the early 90s. There was at some point a pool over here, and so there's a deck we're tearing out. There's a lot of nasty treated lumber in this yard that we're having to tear out. There's a lot of promise here. I think there's space for potentially backyard rabbits and chickens, and definitely a garden. They left this cool canopy, which we're going to, I think, attempt to convert to a greenhouse. So keep your eyes on that. And yeah, there's a lot that can be done back here. So we're thrilled about the opportunity for kind of a city urban homesteading kind of lifestyle that this is going to afford. Pretty cool. I'm pretty pumped. Thank you for watching, and please wish us luck on this new home ownership adventure as we continue making modifications and renovations to this house and getting the studio set up in the back and getting the rest of our stuff moved over so we can actually be moved in. Wish us luck. Shoot us a comment. Let us know what your moving and renovations have been like, particularly if you're a home brewer, because I moved, I think, 40 gallons worth of homebrew over here, and that doesn't include the bottles that I have still yet to make it over here. You can find us on the web at dointhemost.org, and of course, you know, our Instagram and Pinterest is Doin the Most OK. You'll see a lot of weekly projects and behind the scenes stuff on there, so give us a follow. We'll follow you back on Instagram. We love seeing the real Doin the Most kind of content that's out there, real DIY gritty stuff. It inspires us as we start looking for new projects and hobbies to buy into. We're hoping to have our content schedule kind of back up and running here in the next couple of weeks, and until next time.